When Slack blows
We're the fun ones.
I know! Well, when Slack blows up like that, it makes me...
Anyway, what's on your topic for today?
Well, it is the holidays.
Tis.
And NaNoWriMo just finished.
It did.
And I would imagine a lot of authors are starting to gear up.
Prematurely query. Oh, okay.
You know, that's not as bad as it used to be.
No?
No.
Good, good. I think that more of that advice is out there.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like in the past December 1st was...
An onslaught.
But I will say that December, I probably receive the majority of not polished queries, unpolished queries in December versus any other month of the year.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, but I digress. So
we do that a lot.
We do. If there's one thing we're good at.
Digress.
So anyway, NaNoWriMo is over.
Yes, it is now December. And there's nothing special for December.
And I imagine that most authors, whether NaNoWriMo authors or otherwise, are sort of starting to plan for January.
Yes.
I think a lot of people hold off on submitting in December and shoot for after the new year.
Yeah, they take this time to revise and to make the query list and write the query, so...
And hopefully just chill out and read books that they love.
Yes. Yeah, and that's part of... I think that's an important part of revision, too.
Yeah.
Like reading what other people do and their wordsmithing and their world building. It's very important to revising your own work.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And also knowing the market. Reading books that are being published today. Yeah. So that you're really up to date on market trends, even in terms of voice and other things.
Yeah. Anyway, we digressed again. So
kind of,
the point of our video is
MSWL.
Yes,
right?
talking about sort of finding the right agent for you and how MSWL aids in that or doesn't aid in that.
Right, right. So I always think of MSWL as highlighting what an agent's list is.
Yes, but real quick, I want to say that I think there are two different types of MSWL.
Oh, okay.
I think there's the MSWL where I'm looking for high fantasy that has this kind of character or whatever, and then there's that super specific MSWL where someone will find an article and tweet MSWL.
Right.
Like that's there's two different kinds of MSWL. You might tweet something about how you're looking for an unreliable narrator in a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
You could do with many of those because
Yes.
that's a lot of people, that's all they read.
Right.
But if I tweeted I want a chicken book, because I do want a chicken book, but I want
But wait. Adult?
No, I want a chicken picture book. I can imagine the kind of queries
We
I
know
get.
how things can go astray.
Yeah. I want a chicken picture book. No, but I don't want a million of them.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy that they're being published and I'd love to read them, but I don't think I want a million chicken books on my... Like, I don't want to be the chicken book agent.
Right.
But if I find one that I love, then obviously, like, that's the one I want to run with, and I don't think that I have to keep signing chicken clients.
Right.
But if you went for genre, then you're like, okay, then I'll take another psychological thriller. I'll take one here, one here.
Right.
So there's two different kind of MSWLs.
Yeah. For me, I guess the way I see... I think you're right.
Okay.
The way I see MSWL... Well, yeah, you're right, though, because I was thinking that... Because I, for a long time, had MSWL as historical mysteries. I've been a fan of historical mysteries forever, and it's kind of amazing that I spent the first 15 years of my career, maybe, without any.
Yeah. But, so now you found one in the query trenches.
I found a couple, but yes.
But you also got a couple from your clients, too.
Correct.
So I think that, like, you didn't just get one and you were done. Like,
No.
you got a couple, so you kind of quenched that thirst and you moved on.
Right.
But it wasn't one where you were like, that's super specific.
No.
Like, had you said, I want a Gilded Age New York MSWL.
Right.
Then, you don't need 10 of them.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That is true. That is true. And I did want that.
Yeah.
That was an
There you go.
MSWL, and I have it.
Now that I steamrolled right through
So I think the thing to consider with an MSWL is that you know what an agent represents. And that they represent what you're writing, whether it's picture books or mysteries or psychological suspense. And then you can look at the MSWL to get a little better idea of maybe who they are and what more specific interests are.
Yeah.
But also understand that it's possible that you have that perfect book, but they may already have found it.
Yeah.
Even though it's still floating out there in the atmosphere as an MSWL.
Yeah, and to be judicious, yeah, like you said, they change, or that it just, like, if it's that specific, it's not that they're turning you down after they say they want that. Like, I'm not, if I find 10 chicken books in my query inbox after this posts, and I turn them down, it's not because I'm not looking for chicken, it's just like, that's not the right one that I want.
Yep, that's true too.
So I think that MSWL it's not a guarantee.
Right.
So just because an agent tweets out that they want, or whatever, that they want this kind of book, doesn't mean that it's your kind of book.
Yeah, and it's also usually based on a whim or a current desire. So
yeah.
For me, MSWL really comes through when I've read a book that I've fallen in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want that book.
Right. Like me with Stranger Things. I want a Stranger Things kind of thing. But I can't find one. But
yeah, and I want Next Year in Havana.
Yeah.
Maybe not in Havana, maybe another country. But
right.
But when I find one, that's probably just going to be the book then.
Yeah, and another thing about MSWL too is that you don't know, if someone says I want the Next Year in Havana, you don't know exactly what they responded to.
Yes.
Yes. You may have responded to I know it's intergenerational, right?
Yes.
But they might just have a book set in Cuba.
Right.
So like it might not be what you're looking for. So that's an important thing to note too. Like decoding that is really, it's difficult. It's not.
But don't try to do it.
Yeah, it's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Because unless they're specific in what they respond to, then it's really hard to pin that down.
Your job isn't to try to decode it. Your job is just to go, I have something that I think matches that, and I'm going to send it along. That's all you do. And
take a rejection in stride if it's not it. Like
exactly.
Don't knee-jerk response.
Exactly.